Alabama has completed 6 practices so far this spring. One of the questions that you have about this offense is who is going to be the go-to wide receiver. And one of the names that keeps popping up is Germie Bernard, the transfer from Washington. We're going to talk about him, the speed that he brings to the table. We'll hear Nick Sheridan, the Alabama offensive coordinator, getting into that as well. We're going to talk Alabama football right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel right after this. Don't forget, Big Sexy Elmo in the house. He'll be part of the party. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Let's get this thing going, guys. And roll tide, everybody. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff. Roll Tide, there he is. Love that shirt, man. What's going on? Big Sexy Elmo, Brett Elmore from the Brett Elmore Show. And, of course, part of our crew here, I'm Mick Gillespie. All right, Brett, let's talk about it. Practice is rolling on, and Alabama hoping that they can figure out who's going to be the guy to catch the ball for them.
Well, they have a number of weapons that they could definitely utilize. I know that much. Yeah, they held their 6th workout yesterday. Spent 2 full hours in pads, full pad split between the indoor facility and then, of course, the practice fields. And still doing those early morning workouts. Well, I'll say early morning, 9:20 practice times. But, but your question, who are they going to throw it to? They got some weapons that they can throw to.
Yeah, right. Yeah, one of those guys is transfer Germie Bernard. And I remember when he came over from Washington hearing, hey, look, you could put this guy running back. He could go in the slot. He's got a ton of speed. He can make plays. And it was really, really kind of exciting to hear Nick Sheridan talking about, exactly what he brings to the table. And I kind of want to play this clip for you and then, see what you think. But, having that guy, and maybe it's just a transition guy, get from him to where Ryan Williams is kind of a star player. It's going to take him some time, I'm guessing, but or maybe somebody else emerges. But here's what Coach Sheridan said about Bernard.
I think Germie has been awesome and has had a great camp and had a great spring. And he's a really good football player. Certainly, in addition to that, his leadership, his character, who he is as a person, his willingness to help those around him. He wants his teammates to do well, and obviously has knowledge of the system, has played in it, previously. And so Germ's been great, and we're lucky to have him.
How do you see the time?
So there you go. He said, hey, we're lucky to have him. And he's a guy that Alabama picked up in the transfer portal. And now you got a guy who is, kind of emerging, I'm guessing, as the player that they probably trust the most. And I think the reason why is that he was in their system last year.
Yeah, he played in 14 games for Washington last year, 7 starts. He caught 34 passes, 419 yards, 43 yards, and 2 scores and 13 rushing attempts. And then they also put him at kickoff and punt return. And let's not forget too, he played in 12 games as a true freshman at Michigan State.
Yeah,
before moving over to Washington, now at Alabama. But one of these guys from Las Vegas, and being a junior, you look at him for some leadership for these younger guys. So we got a lot of younger guys that's going to look up to a guy like him.
Yeah, well, it said, hey, look, he was in a room of 3 NFL receivers, Jaden Reed and Keon Coleman. Those are the type of guys who you learn under, right? He was the 5th leading receiver last year. And also, I loved Michael Penix Jr. I thought he was an awesome quarterback. And if he would have stayed at Washington, I think he would have been one of the go-to guys on the team this year. But Jamarcus Shepard, an excellent wide receiver coach. Obviously, Kalen DeBoer played wide receiver and understands how important that job is as well. And I feel like Bernard's one of the guys who Alabama can count on, especially early on. I think that, as you move forward through the season, it'll be other guys that'll be able to step up. But early on, it's nice to kind of have somebody that you feel like, hey, you know what? We know what we got with this guy.
Yeah, and I think that's what Coach was talking about too. It's one of those situations where he's been in the system and he kind of knows what's going on already. So it's easy for some of the younger guys to kind of talk to him and elaborate on it.
Yeah, and you know what else too? They asked him about what it's like, kind of working with, being around Kalen DeBoer, and I'm going to play that clip. But you get a great vibe of what Kalen DeBoer is like just by the way he treats everybody, And I ran into him. Jake Coker's run into him a bunch of times. We talked about it. You can tell by the way that the people around him feel. But it really is nice to see that Alabama has a coach that that the rest of the coaches feel so passionate about. And here's what Coach Sheridan said, and then I want to get your take, Brett.
Communication. I think in any relationship, trust is earned. And he's hired people that are, great people and really quality at what they do. And so, but I think constant communication, I think he does a great job, setting a vision for the staff on what his standards and what his expectations are. He's constantly holding us to that. And we have incredibly high standards collectively as a staff, and certainly the vision and leadership that he sets, we follow that lead. But I think he empowers the staff. He hires people that he trusts, and he's just, you guys all know I'm biased, right? But I love the guy. I think he's a tremendous head coach and a wonderful leader and great husband, father. Any other good things you want me to say about Kalen? And I'd say them all.
There you go. And you can tell that's genuine. Just by the way that he was smiling and saying, look, and how these guys all came together. Like Kalen DeBoer went out and got people he trusted, that he knew would be on his side, that he didn't have to worry about work ethic or someone leaking stuff. There were some years where things were leaking out of the Alabama locker room, and then the next year, like half the staff would be in other places, and it'd be like, man, it's hard to build that type of relationship with people that are only going to be there a year and don't really care about you that much. And I think Saban had to deal with that, over the years. This staff, definitely not one of those.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see. It seemed like, of course, it's no big secret that over the past several years, at the end of the year, it was like a revolving door of coaches all the time. That's one thing I think Coach Saban also got tired of, was just having to hire new coaches every year. Be interested to see if this coaching staff stays together, like they should. And but yeah, some great words about Coach DeBoer, and I believe what he's saying.
Yeah, like Clemson kept that staff together for a long time, and ended up winning 2 championships and playing in like 4 of them. So that's the kind of stability that you really look for in a coaching staff. A couple things, Brett, before you take over the show. Alabama practice continues today. We'll talk about that. And media availability is not going to be there for, I don't know, I think next week is when the media is back in there. But we'll have updates on all of that. Also, a big announcement today on the next round. So make sure that you check that out. Yours truly is going to be involved in something pretty cool going on over there. Brett, I know you, and I know one thing about you is that you love a great deal. You're a guy that knows a great deal when you see one. And I've got a great deal for you, Brett. And if you want to share with your friends on the channel, you go ahead and do that. But what I want to tell you is that right now, Brett, if you go to newlifeart.com, and you use the promo code Bama Tailgate.
Yeah, tell me more.
And you buy this calendar right here, the 2025 Fine Art edition of Nick Saban Moments. You get it autographed by Daniel A. Moore for free.
Yes.
you don't even have to stand in line.
Wow. What a deal.
That is a great deal. So check that out for yourself, guys. We're going to do it for until the end of the week. So take advantage of that. Look how excited he is.
Till the end of the week.
Yeah, you got a few days left, Brett. So
okay,
we'll do it through the weekend. So when you get paid on Friday, you got a little extra change. You can go throw it over there on your calendar, get it autographed.
Payday's coming up Friday. Yeah, so keep that thing going on for a little while.
Also presented by our friends at Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. It's 2.5 hours for Brett and Jasper, hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, wherever you're at. It's a really fun place. It's like Vegas style casino right there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Table games and slots at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino. You got the sports book, which Brett went in there and he put down big money on Bama basketball to win the championship. Would be the first time ever, by the way.
That's right.
You put money down, but because Brett spent over $50 on that bet, he could play Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. The Augusta you can play for only $40. And if you didn't see it last time we were there, Brett had a hole-in-one. He's an amazing golfer. You guys probably love golf as well. And really a special course. Geyser Falls is their water park. They got a spa. They got it all. Pearl River Resort. All right, after this, Brett takes over. You're not going to want to miss this.
To Pearl River Resort. They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XPs, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
How close were you to getting caught sneaking out of my mom's window?
Pretty close. Pretty close. Wow.
Hey, it's your song. That is your open.
Yeah.
The West Jasper 7. They do a great job with that.
Yeah, I was thinking about them earlier today. And yeah, you're right. I do like a good deal. You was talking about the deal there at Uline Fart. I'm the type of guy that when I go to Subway, I bring a tape measure and I measure the bread and make sure it's exactly a foot long or a 6-inch.
Yeah.
I'll get behind the barn there and measure out the bread and tell them where to cut to make sure I get the full 6 inches of bread.
Yeah. What if you got over 12 inches? Would that matter?
I would tell them just never mind. I was fine, fine with that extra,
So if you got 12 and a half or 13 inches, you'd be fine with that.
Right. You're right.
Okay.
But Nick, I guarantee you one thing.
What?
That bread's not 12 inches. I don't think it is.
No, it looks like it's like more like 10 and a half.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, today's birthday. Today's the 8th day of August, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some really good birthdays today. Dustin Hoffman, 87.
Yeah, great actor. What was that? The Graduate. That was just kind of like his breakout movie. The song Mrs. Robinson came out.
Yeah.
They threw that in there by Simon and Garfunkel. I love Paul Simon to this day. I still like Simon and Garfunkel, but really kind of a racy movie back then.
Yeah.
I when you first said that though, I thought you were going to say Dusty Rhodes, but you said
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman. So either one of them, cool.
Yeah. No, not the American Dream. Not today. Guitarist The Edge of U2 is 63 today.
Great band. They did one of those residencies, small one in Vegas at the Sphere. It would have been cool to see them. They got an arsenal of great music. They've kept a lot of the original guys together in the band. I was surprised. Remember, they did one CD that came out, and it automatically loaded on everybody's phone. And instead of people being real happy about it, everybody was mad that the whole world got a free
I remember
CD.
that now.
Yeah, everybody was mad about it.
Yeah, I remember that now. Favorite U2 song by any chance?
I got one, man. All I Want Is You. That's by far my favorite YouTube song, by far. But I like Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. That whole Joshua Tree album was amazing. But they also had an album that came out when I was in college. I was bartending. We had it on the jukebox at Boo Radley's. And it had that song like Beautiful Day and a bunch really fantastic album. That one too.
Yeah. Beautiful Day is one of those that'll kick a Elevation was a great song.
Yeah, I may listen to it when we get off here.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good driving song, Elevation. That could get you that could actually get you into trouble, probably speeding or whatever. But I'm a big fan of the U2. Let's see here. Who else we got celebrating birthday today? Scott Stapp of Creed is 51 today.
Yep, great singer, great band.
Hung out with him last year.
Did you?
Yeah, absolutely. Gave me a shout out on stage.
What did he say? Big sexy Elmo?
He gave me a shout out on the stage. Yeah. He played our Foothills Festival here last year, and I gave him a sign. He's a big Alabama fan.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, he's a big Alabama fan. I gave him a Nick Saban signed helmet.
What?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that at?
Huh?
Where'd you get that at?
Got it from a client, but
I'm giving that to your best old buddy Mick. I know what we could do for him. You give me the helmet next time, and I'm going to get him a calendar signed by Daniel Moore. Has Nick Saban all over it, like 5 or 6 Nick Sabans.
Hold on a second. I'll just have to put this up here. Yeah, there you go. Give him like 5 or 6 of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, there it is, right there.
Oh, look at you back there.
Yeah.
Really cool. You look happy, and he looks happy. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, he was a big roll tide kind of guy.
You got the same look in that picture than you do at the bottom of this.
It's the same look. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
When you get real happy, your mouth opens wide.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's right. But anyway, that's Scott Stapp celebrating a birthday today. Everybody's Creed's coming to Birmingham. I'm going to have to kind of use my in and try to get back. Back.
I wonder if he'll remember you. He'll have to, because
dude, you can't forget me once you meet.
That's right.
You can't forget.
You've become the breakout star of the Bama Tailgate Show.
Right. Yeah. Right. Country singer Mark Wills is 51 today.
All right.
And let's see, anybody else? And singer Shawn Mendes is 26. He's pretty good.
Okay.
If you're looking for something to celebrate today, let's see.
Doesn't slide off the tongue today, huh?
No, because it actually is there nothing on this? Let's see. There's no days today.
Okay. Well, we should do something. We should put in for this day.
Up.
Yeah, for this day.
Today's National Wood Chipper Day.
So there is something. Yeah. Look, I've got a bunch of trees.
I just made that up.
Well, I've got a bunch of trees coming down at my house. This next week. There's going to be a lot of wood chipping action.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, a lot of water oaks.
Oh, yeah.
I feel bad for the squirrels, but it was going to be their house or mine. So
You don't care about those squirrels.
I like them. I do like them. But the guy told me, he's like, there's a plenty of trees for them to go in. I just said, but let's try not to
Yeah.
hurt.
There's look. The neighbors will love you. You know, cut down the trees. All the squirrels move to their house, and but yeah, no, you've got a mixed estate down there in
I knew you were going to say that. You better not say
I mean,
palatial. Don't even use that term.
His palatial estate there in Fairhope. I've been to it. I've it's in the let me just say the upper crust part of the community, and I almost felt bad just driving through there at night, because I thought, well, they're gonna really kind of look at me strange. But anyway, he has a nice place. Eat your cornflakes this morning. William Kellogg invents cornflakes this day, 1898.
Okay.
The refrigerator is patented this day in 1899.
That had to be a great day for people. You
Yeah.
know, like now you don't have to put I guess at that point, even though the refrigerator, they probably didn't have electricity for it. So it was probably more like an ice box, but still
Yeah.
good for them.
1963, the Kingsmen released Louie Louie, which radio stations label obscene.
Yeah. What am I missing there? I mean,
Well, Woody, that comes on after me, which is known as the professor of rock and roll, he will not play Louie Louie. Woody is Woody's like 71 now or 72, and he likes to go back a little bit on his show, but he told me that they say the F word in there, and I said, Woody, in 1963 they weren't saying the F word in a song.
Yeah.
And he says, listen to it right here. Listen to it. I mean, we had a great debate one morning.
Tell me where we're gonna go.
Yeah.
But
But there was like this. I think the FBI even investigated this. I mean, back in the early 60s. I mean, this was.
We've gone a long way from that. Okay.
Right. So, but anyway, that's 1963. Let's see. 1969, Stranger Danger, Sharon Tate, and 4 others are murdered by members of Charles Manson's family.
Yeah, where was I? I think I was in like LA or somewhere, and a long time ago, and they had an art exhibit of all these pictures from the Manson family that they had. And it was like, and I had to get out of there because it looked a lot more like porn to me than it did like just pictures, like they had taken pictures of them, having orgies and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, like what are we doing here?
Oh, poor little innocent Mick ran right out, didn't he?
Look, man, this wasn't the kind of, I don't think anybody would have liked this exhibit.
Oh, this was like creepy stuff, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I mean, if you couldn't view it, it must have been really bad. No, I know what you're talking about. You get into some creepy stuff like that. Like I said, I was watching the John Wayne Gacy documentary on Peacock the other night, and people were buying his artwork, and while he was in prison, and
great.
It's like, God, who 1975, Hank Williams Jr. falls 500 feet down a mountain in Montana. And he returned to music 2 years later after 2 years of surgeries.
You know what my favorite Hank song is?
What's that?
You got any idea?
Let's see. I have no idea.
Hey man, them ain't high heel sneakers.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yes,
little dinosaur, baby.
Dinosaur.
That's like one of those great songs. Wayne Mills, man, the late great Wayne Mills used to play that at Harry's on Tuesdays back in the day at college at the University of Alabama, and I always loved it. The place would go nuts when he'd play that song. And then I saw Hank do it. I was up front for a Hank show one time, and he wasn't going to play it, and we just kept screaming at him until he
Yeah.
did play it. But
Yeah.
I love Hank, man. I really do. He's fun. You know, those albums back in the 70s and early 80s, you know, people still, all the karaoke's sing them and stuff. And, you know, he's one of the greats of Alabama. And his dad was famous too, but two very different type performers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, Bo Cephas, he took the famous fall this day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a look at this day in history.
Great song about it too. He sings a song. He wrote a song about that fall as well. So, well, glad he made it. All right, that's Brett. I'm Mick. Roll Tide, everybody. We will talk to you again tomorrow.